Mr. Worthing, everything is ready for the christenings.
Christening, sir? Is someone with child?
Both of these gentlemen have expressed desire for immediate baptism.
At their age, the idea is grotesque. Albert, baptized? I will not hear of such excesses.
Am I to understand, then, that there will be no christenings this afternoon?
I don't think that as things are now, it will be of much practical value to either of us.
I'll return to the church. Miss Prism is waiting for me.
Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes.
Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies. The very picture of respectability.
Obviously the same person. What position does she hold in your household?
Miss Prism has, for the last year, been Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and tutor.
Despite what I hear, I must see her at once. Send for her.
She's already here.
I was told you expected me in the vestry, dear Chasuble. I waited an hour.
Prism! Prism, stop! Where is that baby? Prism, 25 years ago, you left a certain house off Fifth Avenue in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, the police found the carriage in, of all places, Queens. It contained a manuscript of a novel of revolting sentimentality and an empty bottle of cheap vermouth. But the baby was not there. Prism, where is that child?
Mrs. Bracknell, I admit with some shame I do not know. On the day you mentioned, I took the baby out for some son and heir. I also had with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I intended to place the manuscript of a romance novel I had written. In a moment of mental abstraction for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the perambulator and placed the baby in the handbag.
But where did you leave the handbag?
Please do not ask.
Miss Prism, this is a matter of vital importance. I insist on knowing where you left the handbag that contained the infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger train stations in New York.
Which train station?
Grand Central Station. The Dartford, Connecticut line.
I must go to my room. Excuse me.
What does this mean?
I hope it doesn't mean what I think it means. In families of high position, strange coincidences do not occur.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it lasts.
Is this the handbag?
It seems to be mine. Yes! Here is the injury it received through the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. And here on the lock are my initials. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I am delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me.
Miss Prism, more is returned to you than this handbag. I am the baby that you placed in it.
You?
Yes. Mother.
Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried.
Unmarried? I can't deny that's a serious blow. But after all, who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Can't repentance wipe out a moment's folly? Why should there be one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthing, there is some error. There is the person who can explain who you really are.
Mrs. Bracknell, would you kindly inform me who I am?
The news I have to give may shock. You are the son of my late distant sister-in-law, Mrs. Sarah Moncrief, and consequently, Albert's elder brother.
Albert's elder brother? Then I have a brother. I knew I had a brother. I always said I had a brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted that I had a brother? Reverend Chasuble, my wonderful brother. Miss Prism, my wonderful brother. Gwendolyn, my wonderful, wonderful brother. Albert, you really have to treat me with more respect in the future. Not once have you behaved to me like a brother.
Well, today I did. I tried my best. However, I was out of practice.
If you're not Ernest or Jack, then who are you? What's your real name now that you're someone else?
I had forgotten that point. Your decision to marry or not on the subject of my name is irrevocable? Then the question must be cleared up at once. Mrs. Bracknell, at the time that Miss Prism left me in the handbag, had I been christened?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, had been lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
Then let me know the worst. What name was I given?
Being the eldest son, you were naturally named after your father, the late Judge Moncrief.
Yes, but what was my father's first name?
I cannot recall what his Christian name was. I hardly knew him.
Albert, don't you remember our father's name?
He died when I was young. We were never on speaking terms.
His name, I'm sure, would appear in the court lists of the period, wouldn't it? The court lists of the last 40 years are here. These records should have been my constant study. Judge Magley, Malum, Markby, Maxbum. What horrible names. Mobbs, Moncrief. Justice, New York Bench, 1979. Christian names. Christian names. Ernest, Jack. Gwendolyn, I always told you that my name was Ernest. Well, it is Ernest after all.
Yes, I recall the judge was called Ernest. I knew for some reason I disliked the name.
Ernest, I felt from the first that you could have no other name.
It is a terrible thing for a man to suddenly find out that all his life he's been telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Can you forgive me?
I can.
You seem, Mr. Worthing, to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Mrs. Bracknell, I realize for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
A small matter. Father Chasuble, would you do me the honor? I still wish to be christened as Albert Ernest Moncrief.
With pleasure. It'll be my last duty as a Catholic priest. For tomorrow I intend to take up something less filling than Catholicism. The Church of Methodists. All the same sins, only half the penance.
Frederick, does this mean?
Yes, Letitia. We can be joined in matrimony.
Wait! Gobert!
Madam Bracknell?
My favorite, cucumber sandwiches. Nephew Ernest,
Yes, Mrs. Bracknell?
you may kiss my cheek and call me Aunt Augusta.
Yes, Aunt Augusta.